Susan. Hello, hello. How are you? Welcome to the final technique talk of 2025. It's our last one. Hey, Mary. What's happening, friends? Are you keeping warm? I'm just moving things out of the camera view so you can't see them. Otherwise, I got a mess going on. Hello, Mary. Hello, Barb. Hello, Barb. Two Marys, two Barbs. I need another Susan. How is everyone doing? Let's see. Can you hear me okay? Do I need to turn the volume up? I always have my ringer volume down, so I'm never quite sure what my volume situation is. So, the delay is about 20 seconds or so. So, hey, Marilyn. Mary's crafting. Marianne, hello. Yes, it is cold. Whew. I know. All right. Marilyn. We've got a couple of Marilyns, a couple of Barbaras, a couple of Marys. I love it. Welcome, everyone. So today, being that it's, 23 days till Christmas? Are you ready? I thought that we would talk about a technique for a fun gift card enclosure that you can use just to give a gift card in, or you can add to the inside of a card, but just something super easy that you can make from one piece of 6x6 paper, basically. Hey, Pat. Hello. So this is a finished one. So it's got a little belly band that I've decorated, but it's just a little gift card envelope. And I'm going to go over all the dimensions, and I'm going to show you where you need to score and all sorts of fun stuff. So I will also try to keep track of the comments. So if you have questions, please ask. And if I don't answer, I'm not ignoring you. Ask again. Sometimes when there's measurements involved, as a lot of you know, I am not very much of a measuring kind of crafter. I really have to pay attention. So what I've got here are some pieces of paper with the dimensions in blue of the piece of paper, and then in red, the measurements where we will score. Now, this is the main sheet that the gift card will be made from. So it ends up looking like this. So this is from a 6x6 piece of paper. And I know you'll ask, the paper that I'm using is a Catherine Pooler Christmas collection that we had last year. That was the most handy 6x6 Christmas paper I had. All right, so we'll start with the main envelope. So again, the dimension of the paper is in blue, so we're 5 1/4 by 6. All right, so this piece of paper is 5 1/4 by 6. And I am going to use a piece of paper that I already cut, a piece of red cardstock, just to make it easy. There's a couple of ways that we can do this. I thought that for the first one, I'll do it without a pattern, so it's easy to see. All right, so you'll start with your paper with the 5 1/4 dimension at the top of your scoreboard, and I'm tucking it in the corner here. All right. And then what this template says is we're going to score at 3/4 of an inch. And then we're going to score at 4.5 inches. All right. So here, 3/4, 4.5. All right. 2 scores on that side. Then we are going to flip our paper so that the 6-inch dimension is at the top of our scoreboard, and we are going to score at 1 1/4 and 3 3/4. All right. And that, my friends, is all the scoring that you do on this piece of paper. All right, now I'm going to take this template away and show you this piece of cardstock, and I'm going to fold all the folds so you can get an idea. It's easier to see on the camera if there are folds. All right, so here are all your folds. Now what you do is you'll need a pair of scissors. You're going to cut away the corners. All right. You are going to just cut out the corners. Right along the score line. Cut those right off. Okay. Hey, Vicki. So this is now what you have. Okay. Now a couple of little more cuts that you have to do here. You want to cut, these are the flaps that you're going to fold in and do your gluing or your taping to. So it makes it a little bit less bulky if you cut diagonal right on the sides. So you're just going to cut in diagonally, just a little bit, not too much. All right. So here's what you end up with. Now, I don't usually round corners, but I thought this looked a little bit nicer with rounded corners. So I have my We Are Crop-A-Dile corner chomper. Chomp, chomp. And I am going to... Oh, I'm not very good at it either. Chomp my corners. Just the 4 corners. Don't need to chomp the tabs that you're going to be folding in. All right. Now, if it's easier to look at a white, I did this prepared so that you could see what you have now. So this is what you have that you've cut and scored from the 6x6 piece of paper. All right. Now, what I am going to do here is I'm going to fold in my tabs. All right. Fold it in the tabs. And you can use glue or you can use a tape runner. I am just a double-sided tape girl, so I am going to just add some tape here. Now, before we tape up this, you have a choice to add a little divot. Whoops, geez, I'm throwing things around. In your flap here to make it easier to grab the gift card. So you can take a circle punch. This particular circle punch is 1 1/4 inches. I'm just kind of going 1/3 of the way into the circle, kind of centered, and I'm punching a little divot like this. All right, just makes it easier to grab your gift card out of there. You don't have to do it. Just makes things convenient. Yes, Mary, chomping is good. On paper though. Not on anything else. Weird. So then I'm going to just fold that up. All right. And you've got your little envelope. That's it. Okay. Now you can do a couple of things. I've got a measurement here for a belly band. I measured 1 inch, but if you wanted to use the scrap of paper that you had from your 6x6 when you cut at 5 1/4, you get a 3/4 inch piece that would also work just fine for a belly band. So if you wanted to just use your same scrap of paper, or maybe you've got double-sided paper and you want to use the other side, totally fine. Also, this particular paper doesn't happen to be double-sided. So this is what was left over from this one. So, but this one would work for the belly band for this as well. All right, so you can either cut a 1 inch strip, 1 inch by 6 inches strip of paper, and then you score this one as well. So put your long 6 inch dimension up here at the top, and you will score at 1 3/4 and wait a minute. That doesn't seem right. I'm lying to you guys. Hold on. Yeah, 1 3/4. Oops. I measured wrong. Ha! It is 1 3/4. Sorry. And 4 1/4. I just went to the wrong spot. So 1 3/4 and 4 1/4 is the right dimension. And then you just fold those over, and that gives you your belly band. And then you'll just put a little dab of glue or a little piece of double-sided tape. Oops, oh my gosh, I am really throwing things around. And then just attach it. And then you have a belly band. All right, so we'll put a little piece of tape right there. I've been really scattered today, ladies. I've been super, super busy and struggling. So clearly, because this is not the right size. Hold on. Let me look at my scores again, for goodness sakes. 1 3/4. Oop, yep, I did a little bit past 3/4. I see, I'm riding the struggle bus. So if I would follow my own directions, it would be correct. All right. So do as I say, not as I do, I guess. Yes, Mary, it was all the chomping that got me distracted. Oh boy. Okay, so now I think this is correct. Yes, yay. So then you have, I've got to put a little bit more tape though, because my tape wasn't in the right spot because I moved the score. So all right, so the dimensions that I showed on this are correct. I just didn't score in the right spot. So, all right, so then you have a belly band, and this is your basic, this is just your basic envelope. Now, let's jazz it up. Want to? I do. Okay. I happen to have one already cut. Thank goodness that you don't have to go through that again. Then you can do a little decorative piece of paper, and these are the dimensions here: 3 1/2 inches wide by 5 3/4. Okay, so 3 1/2 wide by 5 3/4, already cut. I also already chomped my corners. Okay, now before we put this together, we are going to attach this paper to the back like this. All right. So it goes just on there like that. And it does give you a little frame, so you will have a little edge, which I really like to have. All right, so we're just going to put some double-sided tape here. Peel off our liners. And then we are just going to attach it. So you've got about 1/8 of an inch border, okay? So kind of just like you would do a card, right? And you're going to attach that like that. Now, grab your bone folder, and you've already got your scores in your base here, so you're just going to fold on those scores and just give it a little burnish so you can get your other paper, your decorative piece of paper on there, folded as well. All right, so there you go. Now you're just going to do the same thing. You're going to fold in your edges. Tape them, glue them, whatever you prefer. Oh, sorry, when I turned my head to read the comments, I'm turning away from the microphone. Sorry about that. All right. Pull off your liner. And then just fold this up. And there you have it. All right, and then you can do a belly band for this one as well. I'm going to steal my belly band off that. And I'm going to put it over here so you can see what it looks like. Now, I used a little tiny ornament die. It was a nesting ornament die set to cut that little ornament. And then this is just some of my chipboard that I had lying around. But another great idea for a decorative piece on your belly band is these nesting pine trees that we have at the store. This little pine tree, the littlest one, cuts this pine tree about this big. That would look really cute on your belly band for decoration as well. Now, I'm going to cut one more. I am going to cut one out of pattern paper so you can see that now that you've kind of seen it a time or two. All right, so there's that little tree on the belly band. Nice little decoration as well. Okay. Let me clean this off, which means just shoving it off to the side, right? Okay, so I've already pre-cut a piece of cardstock. Again, 5 1/4 by 6. And we will first score at 3/4 and then at 4 1/2 with our 5 1/4 side up at the top, and then we'll flip it 90 degrees so that the 6-inch edge is at the top of your scoreboard, and we will score at 1 1/4 and 3 3/4, and then cut out your corners. Now, once you've done it a couple of times, you can save a step by just cutting the top of the corner here on an angle so that you don't have to go back and cut it if you don't want to. So you can save yourself a step when you're cutting out your corner. Once you have the hang of it. saves you a step, so you don't have to go back and make more cuts. I'm all about saving some time. Even if it's 3 seconds, because if you're doing 100 of these because you're giving money for Christmas, that saves a little bit of time. All right, then here's our chomper doing the fun part, chomping. Chomp. Chomp. And of course, any corner rounder is going to work. All right. And I am also going to do my little divot right here. Okay. So once you have reviewed your instructions, have your measurements down, this is a pretty fast little addition, to a greeting card. Whoops. I went a little crazy with my tape. Oh well. So if you need a last minute gift and you've already got your cards done, you can just add this little envelope to a card. And voila. This is also one of the papers from this collection that's got these little reindeer on it. Isn't it cute? I'm going to use that for the belly band that we are going. It was a little scrap that I cut off. So it's 3/4 of an inch instead of 1 inch. Doesn't matter. Either one will work. And I am going to score at, I'm going to do it right this time. I'm going to score at 1 3/4 and 4 1/4. See if I got it right this time. Oh, I think it's a miracle. I think I did. All right. Does anybody have any questions while I am finishing this up? I will mention that if you use a paper like this reindeer, which I did my sample with, I'll show you, and it's directional, like these reindeer could be upside down. You will have upside down reindeer on one side. So my reindeer are the right way here, but when you go to the flaps, they're upside down. So something to consider when you're choosing your paper. All right, and voila. There is my belly band on this little peppermint striped cutie. So a nice, quick and easy little thing for a last minute gift. And I hope that it comes in handy for you. Does anybody have any questions? Clean up a little bit. This one's really cute. I really like this little bulb with the chipboard pieces on there. Make a very cute little addition. All right. I don't see any questions. I will wait a minute though, because there is quite a delay. Tonight. Mary, I'll give you the empty envelope and you can fill it for me. Mary says she'll take one filled. Funny. All right. No, hey, Gail, you snuck on. I didn't see you. Is Kim Bowles on tonight? Because she is going to be quite happy if she's cropping tomorrow. I'm coming in and I'm bringing something that she has been waiting for. She has patiently been waiting for a new product, and I am finally bringing it in for her tomorrow. She on? No. All right, Kim. We'll see you tomorrow then. Okay. Any questions? Here are the dimensions. One more time for you, in case you want to write them down. Gail, you just got home from Scrappy? All right. I don't see any questions, but of course, if you think of anything, leave a comment on the replay. I do check those. All right. And I will see you lovely ladies. Well, if you're cropping, I'll see some of you tomorrow. And if you're not, I'll see you soon. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Stay warm. And if I don't see you, happy holidays. We'll start up again with Technique Talk in 2026, the first Tuesday, probably of January. I have to look at the date. If it's New Year's Day, maybe not, but I think we'll start back up in January. All right, everybody. Thanks.